This is the most difficult career path on College Football 25, but you all know that I'm always up for a hard challenge. So starting as bad as it gets as a 59 overall prospect, meet Craig Mason, the most average receiver ever. Craig is from New Mexico, and there's not that much going on out there. So just getting on a college's radar as a high schooler was a massive struggle for him. He's 5'9", 162, and the speed of an average white guy. But New Mexico State head coach Tony Sanchez said that's exactly what he wanted. He had just one scholarship left to use, and he thought he might as well take a shot on the hometown one-star receiver. But just taking a look at Craig's stats, his 79 speed is going to be painful to use, costly to upgrade, and then playing on Heisman mode will make it even more miserable. The general consensus seems to be if you start off as the lowest rated recruit in Road to Glory, you won't see the field as a freshman. But I have a plan, Craig has a plan, and that is why we can give a confident answer to our head coach. Whether it's a bye week or not, if we want to go from being on the bench to being a starter, we have to earn it through practice. But before we do that, I have spent all 6 of our energy on upgrading our leadership. Now you might ask, why would I do that? And that's because right now we have 0 coach trust, but if we want to become wide receiver 5, we need to earn 1,000. Before I went all in on leadership, in that passive impact spot, we were losing 10 coach trust a week. And that's a huge issue because the most coach trust I can earn in a week of practice is just 500. It's extremely crucial that I am able to get gold in this first wide receiver skeleton drill. But I'm using Craig Mason for the very first time. His 79 speed is still going to get us a nice game. We have a minute on the clock to rack up as many points as possible, and this is going to be his first touchdown. But I'm afraid if they start to run man-to-man coverage, we're not going to be able to get open. That's what I was expecting, though maybe a zig route is going to get us a little bit. It's going to be a long season, and I'm going to play through his entire freshman year in this first episode. Even though we don't have a medal yet, I think we're doing pretty good so far. The multipliers are definitely going to add up. And there it is. We have achieved bronze. Now I'm going to see if we can just run like a 15-yard hitch and go down. I've never used a wide receiver this bad before, but it hasn't seemed that bad because it's not like he's blatantly dropping the ball, and our quarterback doesn't throw to anybody else. With 16 seconds left on the clock, though, we still have another 1,500 points to earn. So we're probably going to need another touchdown, maybe 2, and our receiver just did a block for us. I told you all it was crucial that we got gold in this first practice, and we're getting some good releases. We're breaking a tackle. So with 1.8 seconds left as we hike this final play, I see the gold medal. It doesn't matter what happens here, but I will take a touchdown too. This is huge for Shaq Mason. He is shown out as a 1-star. And as you can see, we're gaining on Matt Banks to take his spot, but if I scroll farther and farther down, what we need to get up to is wide receiver 1 to be the ultimate starter, and that's not even on here. The number 1 receiver is actually Cordell David. He just texted me asking him to make sure he wakes up tomorrow for practice. He's my roommate. I have to help him out. And that's going to give me even more leadership. But what Cordell David does not realize at the moment is all the way down here in the wide receiver room, Craig Mason's going for his job. Considering the best we can even get to at the moment is wide receiver 2, I'm not sure if it's going to be possible. But I'm telling you all, you just got to trust in the plan, and this time we're going to do the jump cut drill. It's more for running backs, but I have the option to do it as a wide receiver, and we're going to see if we can make this happen. I gotta hope that ball does not hit us right there. Sticking to the inside is normally a good strategy, but we only have 5 reps of this, and I'm not exactly sure how much it takes to get gold. I probably should have looked before. I think I'm making some good pace, though. I just got stuck on those dudes right there. We're going to avoid the ball, and we just got to hope this one doesn't come. This is honestly a really good run for me at the moment. I'm stuck, though. This has got to be a bad attempt right here. That ball could have hit us. Can we please just get in? It all comes down to this one right here. I think it's 4,000 that we got to get. That was a nice little juke right there, though. And is that enough? It is. If my calculations are correct, we just earned a position battle. And there it is. We have 2 more coach trusts than Matt Banks does. Now I can focus on some other things. We should probably go down the academics pathway. I would love to graduate early because if we make it to senior year, we wouldn't have to do classes then. We should also probably train a little bit. And I don't think I need to heal. There's no way that we're ever seeing the field. If we play against FCS Midwest, I would be shocked because the Aggies are not very good. There's a decent chance we don't even win this. It was not pretty. It was 10-7, and of course, we didn't get in. But I don't really care. My plan to get an early position battle actually worked. Because I've already built up so much leadership as well, I'm going to stand up to the seniors. I don't want to clean anybody's locker, but that did not work, so we'll see how much that decreased it. Then my academic advisors just letting us know what I already said. If we finish with at least a 3.7 GPA, we wouldn't have to take classes as a senior. And I've somehow gotten my first NIL offer. They want me to sign some autographs, but I'm going to decline this deal because I think nobody would show up. I don't want to be embarrassed. I want to be focused on this position battle. And how these work in College Football 25 is you have to win 2 of the 3 drills. We've already done wide receiver skeleton before, and it seemed pretty easy, at least against zone coverage. So once we get this multiplier going and some free releases, I think we're going to dominate. The score to beat is only 2,000, so even if it takes some weird little routes, we are definitely going to get there. And it could even be with a touchdown catch right here, which it's not. Craig Mason, you got 30 seconds to get like 300 more points. We know we can make that happen. And at this point, we'd just be going for anything extra. I've schemed and planned for this moment. It ended up going well. But that's only the first of the 3 drills. Next up, we have wide receiver battle. It's 1v1 versus a corner. This is man-to-man coverage. Oh, we are in some trouble right here. I don't think we're going to create any separation. Even though our archetype is as a route runner wide receiver, I'm not sure I can see that even happening. I think it's more important than anything else that we just get momentum going, because the multipliers in these drills are clearly adding up, and this route is stopped. Using 79 speed, I literally cannot get any separation. But either way, no matter what happens on this last route, we have still gotten our bronze medal, and this is just a disaster. Well, going into this final drill, we've already won the position battle, but it is very crucial that we also show out right here, because there is a huge bonus that you get in coach trust if you win all 3 of the drills. It's another type of wide receiver skeleton. There is no other players out there on the field though, and just getting to 2,000 points doesn't seem that hard. The issue though is I haven't been able to get these multipliers going, and now time is starting to wind on down. I've been going for the big plays. I think I should just start taking the drags, and I'm hoping that can be enough, because it is sad that we only have about 900 points. With 16 seconds left, I can't have another incompletion in my opinion, and that is not good since they've come out with man-to-man coverage. We kind of got open, and that is going to allow us to beat the score that we needed to, but once again, this was super close. I'm not confident in Craig Mason. I feel like I have to run back and forth, but with winning that position battle and winning all 3 drills, we have earned 1,500 coach trust. I'm sorry, Matt Banks, but you're going to have to move on down the depth chart, and the next player we're going for is Woodbury, but we already have enough to challenge him. I guess we just have to be patient for that now. We have Liberty coming up on the schedule, and how I spend these points probably doesn't matter too much, but we are going to go down the academic pathway, and I think I'm going to spend the final 2 energy on training to get us our first skill point. We're still a 59 overall, but now we have the ability to upgrade our elusiveness, our route running, or our hands. And I guess we could get our IQ too, but we'd have to save up a lot more if we want to go into power or our quickness. This is definitely going to be a grind. Now we're doing backfield survival for practice, and with a 79 speed player, this is probably the worst drill I could ever do, because they're going to be able to chase us down so easily. I mean, that dude is at least 100 pounds bigger than us. He just got knocked away by that, but he is still able to keep up. This is going to be a disaster. If we can't outrun him and at least get 1 medal on this drill, I'm going to be devastated, though I think 1,500 does it. And we have the medal. All right, now we just got to keep on running. Fast dude trying to catch us. We can't do a thing. You know, I'm happy with that attempt, though. We just won't touch that drill for a while. I've also realized that even if we do get up to wide receiver 4, between that and wide receiver 3, we still have a very long way to go. Wide receiver 2 is still all the way down here, but Cordell David's spot is takeable. That is so much coach trust, though. I can't imagine we beat Liberty, and I wish the game would at least allow me to watch from the bench, but we can't spectate it. However, I am out there. I have gotten my moment. It is 13-3, only a couple minutes left, and we're not going to get a catch. Coach is also pulling me off the field right after, but I wasn't expecting to even get onto the field for a play, and we scored 3 points. My thought process is clearly something needs to change offensively. I'm not playing for a good team, but I don't have the option to do a position battle yet. I think that's going to have to come a week after. Unlike NCAA Football 14, you can't do them in back-to-back weeks. They do space them out a little bit. I actually think that's a decent feature, but it just means since we'll only get onto the field for maybe a snap against Fresno State, we have to look forward to practice. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to revisit receiver battle, and I am going to get over my fear of getting 0 separation versus these cornerbacks. I can't run zig routes the entire time. That's not going to be successful. I have to make my cut and just stick with it. Maybe I can have 1 turn like that right there, but that is it. We have the inside leverage, so I'm just going to rack this and we catch it. I don't think we're going to beat anybody deep for a little bit, but we seem to be able to get a decent bump. That's actually a really good turn, and I have to figure out how to beat man coverage before I play a bunch of snaps with no speed. Well, we just lost our multiplier, so no matter what I do in this drill, I don't think I can achieve what I want to. I'm going to try to go for the deep shot, though. And hang on, does Mason have some wheels on him? That was actually a really, really impressive play. We got 1 rep left. My confidence has gone up with Mason. He isn't the best, but I think we can do decent. And I'm not ashamed of this bronze medal. We know the drills I can get golds in. We'll see how this one goes. And I really hope the Aggies can come out on top, even make a bowl game this season, because by that point in the year, I'm hoping that I'm starting a lot more. I'm already getting some minutes right here, though. They have me going out there again. So Craig Mason, it is time for the second snap of your career, and he catches it. It was a terrible route. I shouldn't have called for the ball. But Craig doesn't care. He wants his recognition, and now using the cut, he actually went to the drag. I got 2 opportunities in this game, but it went to overtime and they won. And unfortunately, those were the only 2 chances I got on the field. We knew that this was coming, though. I have a chance to challenge for wide receiver 3. And I thought we were challenging for wide receiver 4. Hang on, was there an injury? I'm locked in now. I told my academic advisor I'm not coming in to study. And there it is. Donovan's torn his labrum, but he's only out for a week. I've never experienced this before in college football 25, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work out if we're able to win this position battle, but I'd imagine this shouldn't be too difficult. If I've learned anything from these drills, especially since we only have to get to 2,000 points, it's that all that really matters is that multiplier, so as long as we're not dropping the ball, we're doing well. If that keeps going up, I could literally catch 5-yard passes and have success. So with like 40 seconds left in this drill, we've already gotten bronze. After that, it doesn't really matter what medal we finish with, though I'm gonna go for the silver. If we can get into the end zone here, I might have it. But I can't even tell if we fell short or not. Now we're on to wide receiver skeleton. It's the same thing again, but there's other receivers out there on the field. That just makes my life even easier. We have to get this into the end zone. And with other players out there pulling around the zones, I am always open. This time I'm gonna get gold, so this is the drill to run if I ever want to have a perfect practice. And once again, we've already won the position battle. We're moving up on the depth chart, but I want to make sure we also do really well right here because that's going to give us a bigger coach trust boost. Since we have dropped that ball, we're not going to get the multiplier for that play. It's a little bit concerning, but they're sticking with us well. And after making that catch, you know that I'm just going to use our inside leverage to catch this. It is simply all about making sure we don't mess up now. And with the score to beat only being 2,000, we're going to do it right here. I'm hoping if any of you have struggled in Road to Glory before, some of the stuff I show you all in this video starts to make more sense. That's another battle won. But I haven't told you all about one secret tactic yet. If we want to get up to wide receiver 2 or even wide receiver 1 though, we have to do it. How much coach trust we need to move up the depth chart is all decided by our players overall. So if we upgrade something like route running right here, which we've done to take us to a 64, that's going to put us a lot closer to PJ Johnson III, and this is very crucial. We're only wide receiver 3 right now because Donovan's injured. I'm pretty sure we're going to drop down to wide receiver 4 once he's back next week. But if we make the most out of this opportunity, maybe not. I've spent some points on training. I'll do it to heal us as well, and then we'll go into leadership and our academics. Craig's social media brand might be lacking, but I'm more worried about getting us on the field. And I'm going to run wide receiver skeleton in practice this week just to make sure that we get as much coach trust out of it as possible. Realizing how much multipliers matter makes Road to Glory so much easier. And that final catch got me exactly what I was hoping for. Now it's time for my big moment though, wide receiver 3 against Sam Houston. And I can assure you, if I didn't go into this season with a plan for Craig, we would have been on the bench like all year. This has all worked out for us though. Our first play is going to be a wide receiver screen. I'm making the block and we're going to move the chains. I will say it's a little disappointing. I keep on getting pulled though. So to be out there for 2 plays in a row is a huge deal. It is going to be just a little check down to our running back. I'm not going to act like I'm running good routes. But Deuce Hogan's also getting the ball out in like 0.1 seconds and they're running man-to-man coverage, but Mason still catches it. There we go. We must have done something right if they're not pulling me off of the field for 2nd and 1. But after missing a blocking assignment, now Craig's done. Just 1 play later though, look who's out there on the field. Craig Mason running the little hitch. And this is going to get very tiring. We're literally out there in a Hail Mary formation at the moment. We actually have one of our receivers deep. I want to try to steal this ball from him though. And I couldn't tell you why. Choosing a play in Road to Glory is so broken. We only have 3 options to choose between and he takes it to the running back immediately every time. So I can't go with that play. If we go over here with slants, I'm hopefully going to get this drag. But that drop might hurt my coach trust. I feel like my best chance to make a play really is out of the Hail Mary formation. We're going to break the tackle right here. So slow though. And staying in hurry up mode, there's not much time left in the half. But we all know exactly what happened. Our quarterback just threw it out immediately. Now he is chucking this one up and we are going to get down to it but not catch it. Our debut with a bigger role on the team isn't going that well. And on the stat sheet, it has us down for 2 drops, but we're making the catch. I'm definitely going to change out of this playbook going forward though. I am not a fan of it because staying out there in Hail Mary is not a way to get the ball consistently. This is also a halfback screen. I want to try and get over there to help out and block, but I can't. So what I'm learning is my role still isn't that big. I have a long way to go with Mason if I want it to increase. This is a terrible Terrible pass. How's it still in the air? How did we catch it? And understandably, I should be taken off the field. Third down though, look who they're relying on. Maybe I could get a touchdown catch. And I've been so focused on my targets in this game, I didn't even look at the score once. I didn't call for the ball there. I promise I did not click a button. So maybe I need to run the route that's actually out there on the field. At least our helmets look cool as we're going to lose this to Sam Houston. And I can't really transfer out of here and escape New Mexico State because I'm not going to be able to play anywhere else. As perfectly as I started this, the career of the 1-star's not looking great at the moment, though our last test grade wasn't terrible. And there it is. We're back to wide receiver 4 with Donovan coming back from injury, even though we have a lot more coach trust than him. And if we can beat him in a position battle, I think we'd catch PJ Johnson too. The problem though is that position battle won't happen this week. I have gone all in on academics. Now we can focus on training. And we get to play our in-state rivals New Mexico, but I'm afraid we're just going to lose again. Since coach has moved Craig back down the depth chart as well, I'm just going to have fun in practice and try to get a gold medal on this drill. I've done a lot of mini games in this video, so I don't want to show them all, but as we get down to one final rep, I think we only need like another 100 points, so all I have to do is not go out of bounds here. We get the 200, that's a gold, but I'd also like to finish this one off. Compared to quarterback drills, I'm definitely better at these in Road to Glory. And it's time to be a good water boy rooting for the Aggies against New Mexico. I really don't know where our career is going to go from here. We have a night game though against the Lobos. And at the moment, we're losing this one 14-0, though we could get into the end zone. I could have a touchdown. And of course, after getting stopped short, I'm out. That could be a big part in this game though. Maybe I'm making a difference. This is against man-to-man. And if they have me running a corner route, it's going to be hard to get separation versus man, though I can make the catch. And here we go. Now it's 3rd and 5. I'm still out there on the field. That is 3 plays in a row. That's held on to. And what is happening right now? I'm actually getting a fair chance. I wonder if somebody else got injured. This is a great route to the 40. But as I'm saying all of that, they're pulling me. There is some hope though. Here on 3rd and 7, guess who is back out there on the field? Coach wants somebody that can make a difference. I can't catch it. Luckily, with 3 minutes left, we have another chance to tie things up versus the Lobos. And why is he throwing there? I was actually open. I could have gotten us the first down. I'm gonna run a zig right here. And Mason, come on, Craig. Come on, Craig. Break the tackle. Keep on going. It really stinks I can't stay out there. But on 3rd and 3, they know who to call on. The difference maker, that's a first down. I won't see if we got a touchdown or not. Or maybe I will. With less than a minute left in this game, we're out there on a 3rd and goal. I had a zig route to run. And this is going to be short of the end zone. I'm still out there though, and we have to run this clock down because that way it can at least go to overtime. I'm hoping to get a cleaner zig route out this time around. And they're going to hit or slant instead. That works. If we go for the 2-point conversion, we can beat our rivals. But this is the screen I have to look at. Apparently, we did go for it. I didn't get to be out there for it. But I don't care. I can say for a fact that I contributed to us winning the Rio Grande rivalry. Not only that, but Craig Mason was the #1 wide receiver for New Mexico State. So with some more experience under his belt, I think we're getting a lot better. But before we challenge for wide receiver 2, we have to become wide receiver 3 again. Whether Donovan's injured or not, we would have his spot all to us. This drill, we're going to go for the 500. I'm not going for the 50 right here. I'm getting stuck though. Come on, that has got to be a great throw. This really doesn't seem too difficult. It's just about timing more than anything else. And there's also a multiplier for whenever you get into the deep zone, so we have to make sure that we continue to do so. We have already won this drill. It's not even close. I'm going for gold. And this is a lot closer of one to catch. We should definitely be able to get this. 3 reps away from perfection now. That is pretty much my goal. I want to catch in all of the 500s. And once again, very manageable route. The deep routes are the ones that worry me. It all comes down to this right here. Can we have a perfect practice, perfect drill with Mason? That's going to be a little bit off target, but it doesn't matter. We won it anyway. Now we have the jump cut drill coming up, and we already know that I'm just going to win this position battle. There's no reason to even be super worried about it. Our score to beat for this one's not even 2,000. It's 1,500. So Donovan Fopple's already lost this position battle, but you know that I want to go for as much coach trust as possible. It'll be super helpful. Of course, this drill's not going to be a challenge for us. If I can just catch a touchdown here, it is all over. But I am using L2 with my routes a little bit more, and it does help out a bit, like you can see right there. The longer this episode and series goes on for, the better I'm going to get. And if you all do have any tips for route running in the comments below, so I don't look like I'm doing doing stupid stuff like that all the time. I definitely appreciate it. Most of our routes just get locked up because of how slow we are. Even though I did upgrade our route running, I'm just glad we won the battle. In a couple weeks, we're going to get to challenge for wide receiver 2 as well. We have flown by PJ Johnson III. And with it being a bye week, we're just going to go ahead and collect another skill point. Delaney's trying to mess up the grind though, and that's something we don't appreciate. I don't want to go to a party off campus. And just looking at this schedule, by the time we unlock a larger role on this team, I'm not sure if the year's even savable. We've definitely started from the bottom and have a long way to go. I'm going to continue to train though. I think that is the most effective thing for us at the moment. And I'm not going to upgrade anything yet, but route running definitely helped our overall elusiveness with spin and juke moves could be cool. Hands would help our catching. And then the big one, our speed. I'm not sure how much we'd gain spending 10, but if we even got up to like 83, 84, it would be worth it. It's going to be a grind, but the more we're out there on the field, the easier it'll be to level up and gain more skill points. So I'm ready for this game against Jacksonville State, but more importantly, the position battle that's going to come after it. Being out there for a 1st and 10, I feel pretty special right now. I have to make the most of this moment though. I'm going to try to get a little bit more. And by the time we have driven it all the way down the field, I'm getting another opportunity. This could be my first touchdown, but I was short and now coach has taken me out. I set us up for our first 7 though. We're using Clemson's playbook, which actually seems to be a lot better, but the drops are inevitable. I still could upgrade it. I'm a little disappointed my team couldn't even get a field goal out of that, though we did get open with the slant, so did my teammate. And I'm just happy with all the chances that I'm getting in this one. On 3rd down, they trusted me to come up with the catch. It's really hard to follow how the game's going though, because like every few minutes we get to play one play, but after the next 2 plays went wrong, look who's out there on 3rd and 14. I gotta dissect this cover 3. It's 4th and inches though. We're not going for it. If I had just a little bit more control and road to glory, we would be in such better positioning. But at least that drive ended with a touchdown as well, and the next time I'm out there, I do have a chance to get my first touchdown ever. I'm starting to think it's never coming this season, but I can't complain too much about this game. We won it pretty comfortably, at least by the end of it, and it's time to become wide receiver 2. This is where things could actually change for us and make a huge difference. But first, like expected, our grades on the midterms were good. Anyway, if we can become wide receiver 2, we should no longer be playing limited snaps. It's just the same type of skeleton stuff over and over. So I don't really see a purpose in showing all of it, though I might show the first plays as we win this battle. If I was ever gonna lose this, I would have to try and lose it intentionally, because now that I know about the multiplier and I have the hang for it, we're already done. This is where I get to have a little bit of fun though and just throw up some jump balls and see if we can catch them. Craig has also decided to put his body on the line, but I'm determined to get one of those hurdles to pay off. I don't want a touchdown. We're literally dominating that much. I'd rather go for hurdles than big plays. And it's now the jump cut drill. I've gotten gold medals on this. We can beat 1,500 points without any issues at all. I mean, this first one, we're just taking it in. And you know what? I've never attempted to hurdle these. Is there any way to dodge the ball out of the way? I gotta just experiment stuff. Spin move on it. Oh, that was actually really clean. Oh, we couldn't pull it off though. For the millionth time, as long as we get all 3 of these position battle drills won, we're gonna end up getting a lot more coach trust. That's the whole reason we've been able to just fly up the depth chart all season here. And if we end up transferring at the end of the year, it's important to keep that in mind for the next team we play for. All we need is another 700 points. That's gonna come right here. And I know I'm not normally too good at the game, but I have been so good at these drills. Craig has done it. He is a starting wide receiver. Wide receiver 2 should be on the field for pretty much everything. And our roommate Cordell David's not gonna like this, but we've even passed him up in coach trust. That means in a couple of weeks, we could take the #1 spot. And because of our GPA, we get increased composure gains at home, which is gonna calm us down. What I've realized though is we have to start spending our energy in the leadership tab because it actually increases how fast you get XP in this game. If we can pair that with a dominant performance versus Louisiana Tech, we should be able to get another skill point. I'm also hoping for the win too though. They haven't won a single game this season. And first drive out there on the field, I gotta get off this camera angle almost immediately. I kinda like it, but it's really hard to see where all the defenders are at. That was cover 2. I should not have called for it because I had not gotten by that zone yet, but I am just thirsty for catches. This is how I'm gonna make a real name for myself, going off against some schools like this. But every so often I'm still gonna be pulled. So that drive apparently ended with no points, and if they're running man-to-man, we're in trouble. They do have me on a little bit of a screen play right here though. We'll see if I can get some decent blocks. And my acceleration looks so terrible. It is actually terrifying. Now they are gonna go with man again. But that was my actual route that was out there on the field, and I gotta stop. These are like some Spencer James type routes. They don't look good at all. We are able to snag this though, and I just wish I could stay out there longer. Fortunately, I only missed a play. I think I have a great chance to make a catch here, but it's not gonna come on every play. 3rd and 13, I did find some space space in the zones, but we're just gonna have to trust that our kicker can hit from here. For all we know, a 3-point lead could be all it takes to beat them on 3rd and 16. I can't get enough. And I have a feeling I've run the same type of route over and over. That's the type of looks that we're getting though. They are running man-to-man coverage on a screen wheel. So I wasn't able to call for the football there. It would have been intercepted, and right here it would have been the same way. We're now on a 3rd and 18. Our offense hasn't looked any better with me at wide receiver 2, though I can make a play like this. And that's a difference maker right there. I still want to be able to get my first touchdown. I mean, I wasn't open. But the time will come. Maybe I could upgrade my route running, and that might actually help more than I'm thinking. I mean, theoretically, if our speed is so low that I just can't beat them deep here, good route running would get me some separation, and then after the catch, this is my best play yet. Plus, I will say, I'm over 100 receiving yards in this game. Now, EA just congratulated Deuce Hogan for completing 100 passes this season, but that's not impressive. We're literally playing our 7th game of the season, and I wanted to step up and help us run block. My reward for that, though, is getting taken off, and I'm not a big fan of that. I am trying to help this team get some more points before the end of the half. What I'm doing, though, is I am running this clock down before we snap it, so Louisiana Tech can't do the same thing. I mean, I should not catch this. But the Spencer James type route works again, and we still have time to get into the end zone. Apparently on that play, we got down to the 1-yard line. I'm just going to call for this immediately. That's my first touchdown. And how is Craig going to celebrate the first touchdown in his career? He's just going to take a dude on his back. You know what, though? The 1-star receiver is having a career game at the moment, so I really don't care. The plan is to continue to feed him as well. We're going to do a little bit of a screenplay, but that didn't go as expected. It is now 3rd and 7, and running this route, there's no chance. It has literally taken Louisiana Tech 0 time to erase the lead that we built up through those first 2 quarters. And now, even though Craig is getting open, he has forgotten how to catch the ball. What do we do versus this man-to-man coverage? We're actually about to lose to the Bulldogs right now, even though it's been a career day. Hang on. We should have had that. Deuce Hogan is selling the team right now. But let's not act like our defense is doing us any favors. They have given up 21 straight points. I don't see how anybody can ever take this team seriously. I mean, are we able to make a bowl game at New Mexico State? This play has gone on for a long time. So evidently, we just kept on running on that side. I couldn't really tell what was going on, but we're on their side of midfield. And with 2 minutes left, I can't make the difference. Unfortunately, I got pulled. It's now 3rd and inches, and I'm open right here. We'll move the chains at least. With the game on the line, though, I will not be spam calling for the ball. I do not want to be the reason we lose. Deuce Hogan just throws it straight to that safety, though, and they're also breaking free for a touchdown. We are going to give up 28 straight. Never mind, we made the tackle. That's even worse. This team is so bad. I am transferring out at the end of the season. Because in what would have been an amazing wide receiver 2 debut win, Craig Mason put up numbers like this, but no, we just collapsed. I'm also not going to take this NIL offer. 2 energy up front for 8 weeks is just way too much for those rewards. And look at that. We have won Conference USA Player of the Week. We didn't win Player of the Game, though, which makes no sense. We're now on a bye, so we're just going to make sure that we study. We could also upgrade one more time, and we're going to do our leadership too. By this point, we have enough coach trust to challenge our roommate Cordell David for the #1 spot, and I hate that it's this way, but practice has become pretty useless for us. This is one of the last ones that I want to try. It's the same thing with one-on-ones, except all of these zones are moving a ton. It's very confusing, and I'm ideally hoping this season ends well so I'm able to transfer somewhere else. The only issue with that plan at the moment is I'm not sure I'm good enough to play anywhere else. Like, who else is going to want to take me? Whenever I use L2 to cut as well, the computer just sticks with it even more, and I need some lob passes. As you can imagine, this whole drill has just gone terribly wrong for us. I mean, they're running man-to-man, and we have to do moving zones. So for the first time this year, I didn't get a medal. I do have 5 skill points I could spend, though, and I'm not sure saving them all the way up for 10 is really going to be worth it. I'm still not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but for now, we have to compete for this spot. But before we finish the rest of this first season, a word from PrizePicks, today's video sponsor. College football can't miss. It just keeps on having great weekends, and to make it even more entertaining, I was on PrizePicks, where you pick between 2 to 6 players and then you go higher or lower on their projections. They also have promotions like Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday to keep things interesting during the weekdays. There's some discounts on picks, and PrizePicks is available in over 30 states, so there's a good chance yours is eligible. I can also get you some cash to start out with on there, as CodeBoard will get you $50 instantly whenever you play with your first $5 plus lineup. And now it's time to get back to the rest of this season. I don't want to take a risk of sleeping in to skip class. I just don't see how there could be a benefit from it. It's a big big day, so I started it right as a student athlete, going to class, and now I just have to make sure that we win these drills. I don't even think I have to win all 3 of them at this point in the season because of how good we're doing. Well, I'm not sure I've lost a single drill in these position battles all season. That kind of shows how simple they are, though. We got clamped. If they're running double man-to-man on me, that's the only time I'm gonna struggle, though. They got caught, and right here, we should be able to get a big gain. The computer is adapting well, though they're getting a little bit mixed up with all those guys around. And my route tree in this video just continues to get worse and worse. By the end of this drill, though, you know that we're gonna win. And let's see if we can beat this double man-to-man deep. That's a great throw. If only in-game Deuce Hogan could get this much time in the pocket to just deliver a laser. And I'm just shown off versus my own defense at this point, getting all of these touchdowns to wrap it up. Wide receiver skeletons, the third drill, it's pretty much just gonna be the exact same thing. And what I've learned from man-to-man coverage is if I don't get that immediate press beat, the best thing I can do is let the computer cheat, run that route with me, and then just turn around. They know exactly where I'm going. There's not much I can do, but we have made it up to wide receiver 1 with Craig Mason, and we're only halfway through the season. I told you all Craig had a plan, but if he wants to take the next step in his career and most likely transfer out, we definitely need to make sure that we make a bowl game. Playing at Texas A&M is an instant loss, so in our other 4 Conference USA games, we have to go 3-1. And this is going to be tough, especially since we are sitting at the bottom of our conference. When it comes to our weekly agenda, I've spent 4 energy and leadership already. I think I'm just going to do 1 more time. And I'm excited to see how we do here on the road at FIU. I'm hoping that they have changed the stadium name to Pitbull Stadium. And they have, but now it's time to see what we can do with this offense. I'm going to cut across the middle of the field. But Deuce Hogan is such an inaccurate quarterback. It's like anything more than 5 yards and he's missing. Here on 3rd and 3, I'm just going to hope for the best. I didn't call for it. He immediately put it in our direction. And that means we turned it over when we shouldn't have. I remember that being a pretty big issue the last time I touched Road to Glory with a wide receiver, though I had a good route there. And as much as it pains me to do this, I probably need to run the ball a little bit more to keep it realistic. Since I can audible on every single play, it makes it very easy to just call for the ball a ton. But all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 6. They kind of had me out here on an island, and instead we threw it to someone else immediately. Luckily though, due to a turnover from FIU, we have it inside the red zone, and I got a little bit nervous there. That was a rough spot to call for the ball, though we have a slant. And what are we doing right now? I could have had a receiving touchdown right there. I'm getting open. We've thrown an interception in the end zone, and I am so sick of this kid right here. Deuce Hogan, you make me want to transfer. All I'm saying is if we had a slightly better quarterback, I think things would be much different. But that last play could be on me. I should have gotten open a little bit quicker. Right here, we're going to use a spin move to pick up the 1st down, and I'm actually really happy with how that play went. Man-to-man coverage, again, we can get open. Drops like that from Craig, though, are so disappointing. I'm going to run a hitch or a curl route, whatever you want to call it. I wanted to make it a 3rd and manageable. I'm definitely seeing a majority of the targets, though, just because I don't trust the other receivers to get that open. I wouldn't see the field for the rest of that drive, though, and somebody must have scored if we got a touchdown. I'll take it. As we go into halftime, we have a chance to have a 2-possession lead over them. I'm hoping I can help make a block, and I'm getting taken off the field at the worst time again. On 3rd and goal, though, they have brought me out there on the field. They want to have somebody like me in there, but that was a pretty embarrassing route. They stuck with us the entire time. I'm glad that we were able to get our field goal. That's a risky read, though, and it's the 3rd interception of the game. Our defense has saved us. I even have a tackle. Call me Travis Hunter the way I'm playing on both sides of the ball right now. I actually could have gotten a little bit of separation there, and I almost wish that we could just chew through a lot of the clock. It seems like the accelerated clock's not working that well for us, though, and that's a problem. We have blown a 2-possession lead in the second half before. We punted it back to them, and our defense held it down, though, so that is some good news. And now we're coming out in a formation like this where we've instantly gotten a pass out. There was no gain at all, and I just wish I could beat the press. I'm not going to transfer to a big school, that's for sure, because I can't even beat these current corners. Though when I come to think of it, trying to throw a receiver like Craig in the SEC would be pure comedy. I actually had a good release as well. They could have picked the ball off right there, though, and gotten the ball back in amazing field positioning. On 3rd and 10, we can't get it out. And guess who has now made it 10-all? This is actually a disaster. The way I see it, we're 100% losing this game. I hate that they keep on pressing, but I'm pretty sure there's an ability I can unlock that does beat the press better, so I'm probably going to have to look into purchasing that. And right here, we are taking a big shot down the field that is caught inside the 10. That was such a good play. I can't hate on Deuce Hogan. He delivered, but unfortunately, I don't get to play. We'd only get a field goal out of it, and so did FIU. So with 10 seconds left in this game, it looks like we're going to overtime. And for somebody that has almost zero control over what's going to happen here, that is not not good. I already know if we get to like a 4th and 1, I'm going to get pulled off of the field, though that was a dot. And then FIU scored, but on their second drive, they were only able to get a field goal, so we win this with a touchdown. This could be my moment right here. A game-winning touchdown in overtime on the road would actually be insane. But I'm also going to let our running backs get some carries too, because that's going to lead to a huge gain. Here we go. It is now 2nd and 3. I'm hoping that motion threw them off. I possession catched it. I literally had the touchdown right there, but I just panicked. I'm going to let us hand it off. And you know what? I might not have had the game-winning touchdown, but we're still winning the game. That's a win in my books. We needed it super bad. Donovan was the better receiver, though. He was able to get the touchdowns for us when they took me off the field, while I got more of the receptions. And I might just take a risk here by cheating on one of my geology classes. I don't want to study geology. I have aced the test. I purposefully wrote the wrong answer on a few questions to avoid suspicion. That is the way that you have to do it. Not that I ever cheated in school. And my GPA is now a 4.0 because of it, but I still have to make sure we study a little bit for the big exam coming up. I also have the option to spend some energy on training. I think we have to do it, and then I have to make sure to repair the wear and tear before the next game. And now that we have 6 skill points, it's getting harder and harder to not just upgrade our elusiveness and also our hands. As much as I just want to save up for speed, right now we are shooting to try and get New Mexico State into a bowl game. And we're not better than most of the teams in our conference on paper, though this is just pure chaos besides Liberty. It's time that we take on the Hilltoppers, though, and I'm starting to realize if we finish out the season super strong, we could make the conference championship. I mean, the main goal is just a bowl game, but if we could do better than that, it would be incredible. This ref is literally rooting against us, though. He got in the way of us catching the ball. I have never seen a ref not want to support a former 1-star prospect. That's ridiculous. Going into college, Mason pretty much had the talent that ref has. I didn't call for the ball here, but Western Kentucky couldn't do anything with it, so the painfully bad route is not going to cost us at all. You all now have a new thing to criticize me on as well. It's no longer going to be my reads. It's going to be more about the routes that I run, and I will gladly let us just hand this off on 3rd and inches, which we're able to pick up. That's what I like to see. What I don't like to see is this screen, though, because it means I'm going to miss a play. I'm not going to be out there for it, but that is such a solid route. I found the space in their D. Now I'm going to run the slant, make sure to take another 15, but I'm afraid I won't get to finish the drive. It's very nerve-wracking knowing that for that play, if they make a mistake, I won't have the chance, but I should have had a touchdown right there. Deuce Hogan just missed the pass, and now he's thrown it over there. I can't even tell if someone's open. We're only getting a field goal out of it. They're acting shocked. He's not good. And Craig might just have to start getting his dad to talk about how bad the quarterback play is on this team on Twitter. That might change some things around here, because right now I don't see how Mason would ever want to stay a New Mexico State Aggie. But we do have to give them the benefit of the doubt. About 4 or 5 games ago, he was nobody. So even if Craig has bigger dreams than playing for the Aggies, we gotta make the most of this moment. I think he's done a good job of that so far. It's only the 2nd quarter. He has 56 yards. But taking a sack right there is probably going to ruin this drive, and we're not going to get open versus that DB. It is a miracle that with 2 minutes left in this first half, our defense has just been incredible. That's the route that's worked for us in this game. And I would love if we could end this quarter with some more points too. That's a possession catch. To be completely fair, I was not expecting to get that open. Once again, he threw it. I didn't call for it. And I think if I'm learning anything, maybe upgrading the route running stat wouldn't be the worst thing to do in the world. Evidently, we got a first down right there, and we're not messing around. I am letting the clock run down under a minute just in case we score. I don't want them to respond. From here on out, though, Mason is going to be looking for a receiving touchdown. This isn't going to do it. And I just got to trust that Craig can get it done under these circumstances. The zig would have worked. I waited too long to do it, though. So it's another drive where we've only gotten a field goal, though that was the best press beat I've ever had. I feel like I'm starting to figure some things out, though this right here couldn't have ended well if I got thrown the ball. And if you have any leverage versus a DB, you really have to use the L2 button to just push off. I can't believe it, though. We're not making the catch right there, so I'm going to have to make up for it on this play. And here we go. It's 3rd and 3. I'm calling for the ball. I'm getting it off the screen, so that's enough. The problem, though, is the next time I'd be out there, it is 3rd and 4, and why am I getting the ball here? I guess it worked out and it was a good read, but it could have ended terribly for us. I'm also not going to get to see the inches here because I got pulled on 3rd down, but we evidently moved the chains and I'm not open. This entire game has felt like a disaster. I've not been that proud of the routes I'm running, though right here that could have been nice. And here we go. It all comes down to a 3rd and 17 where the ball is out immediately. Deuce Hogan just threw it to Western Kentucky for fun, and he's also going to give Western Kentucky the lead for fun. Why would you turn it over without even making a read? I wouldn't see the field again either until the final minute and a half of this game where we are trailing by 5 points. By this time, it is 14-9. I am so disappointed, but this is still winnable for us, and he's just getting it out so quick. I don't even have 2 seconds to get open. That is the biggest issue. I feel like I have to call for the ball right off the rip like I did right there, and that does not lead to to success. So I'm getting taken off for the biggest play of the game. Even though we did get a stop, it doesn't matter. We're not going to move down the field in 34 seconds. At least I don't think we will. And we've got to get up to the line fast. There's still about 18 seconds left. I think I'm just going to call for this on the sidelines again. Come on, make the catch. We have 14 seconds, 0 timeouts. We're now down to the 34-yard line. I'm calling for the ball again. Give me that. Apparently, I dropped it, and they're taking me out. So that's it. We lose to Western Kentucky. It's all because we threw an interception to a player whose face scan doesn't exist. And it's so sad that with 15 receptions and 152 yards, we came up short. The potential is literally there. We're getting up to, I think, 8 skill points now, so we could change our speed pretty soon. But I have bad news. We're about to play Texas A&M on the road, and they're an 88. Assuming we lose this game, which if we're just being honest, that's going to happen. We cannot lose another game this season or else we won't make a bowl. I'm also learning that because we're playing on the road, there's like no chance we're able to even make audibles. So this could be a long game. We're going to get a man-to-man coverage look right here. But their defensive line's getting in pressure so quickly. Deuce Hogan's never going to hit us for a catch. And being down 14-0 already, it's not getting any better than this. On all 3 of my targets so far, he has literally just thrown it straight into our offensive line. And what is even happening? It's like anybody on this team forgot how to play football. I really couldn't tell you how we've gotten the ball back right here, but I'm open. And because they went up by so much early on, the stadium pulse already went away. Even though we're saving up to upgrade our speed too, I kind of want to upgrade route running. I feel like it could be super overpowered, especially when you hit L2 to cut. And here we go. We're down inside the red zone. 2 minutes left in this first half. I'm making the catch, but that's not enough. I want to get a touchdown versus Texas A&M, and it could have come here. I can't ever stand playing in the rain on these college games. The players just go stupid. I don't know why I'm calling for the ball. And I've just accepted we're probably not going to hold on to it in this situation, though we're going to make the catch and that's in. I didn't even mean to run that route like that. I cannot believe that worked. And their fans can't either. They are shocked. Here to start the second half, we're only trailing by 7, so those home field advantages are going to kick in. And that pass was something right there, though I'm going to get the separation and I can't catch it. I don't know what else I could have done there. I made sure we had the leverage. But now it's back to being a 14-point game, and I still think that Craig Mason could make it in the SEC now. It might just be because I have a little bit more experience at wide receiver, but he's doing better against these corners than our conference. And that simply shouldn't be the case. We are going to get pushed to the inside. I could have probably called for it, but it's all good. We have that same look that we're hoping for on this third down, so if I have to run a slant, we know we can catch it. If we're somehow able to get a touchdown out of this drive, we're going to actually be in a decent spot. But unfortunately, I'm being taken off. That was a huge 3rd and 2 to miss, but evidently it went pretty well. I'm gonna drop the ball though. And maybe instead of upgrading his speed, Craig needs to work on upgrading his catching. I really don't know what to do with those skill points. We didn't have to spend them to earn the starting job, which is pretty special. But that 3rd down didn't go very well, so we've had to wait to get it back again, and that's not on target. If there's any schools that even want me to transfer there, when I look, I'm gonna go for schools that have a good QB, because I've seen enough this season. We're running it on 3rd and inches. I'm trying to get a block. And it's incredible this game is not over yet. If we get a touchdown on this drive and then the next, we're fine. Knowing how this game works, it is definitely not very likely, but we could still make it happen. I'm watching my teammates make catch after catch. But of course, because we've started to have success, Stadium Pulse is going to kick in on the 2nd and inches. That's all right though. I'm going for my 2nd touchdown of the day. I couldn't really get open. And come on, coach, let me stay out there. It is now 3rd and 6, and at the moment I have the inside leverage, but every time I've tried to hike the ball and call for it, it just made me motion on over. We threw it to the end zone, and somehow that worked. We are within 7. Apparently, we went for the 2-point conversion though. We didn't get it. They have a 4-yard rush. They have another 4-yard rush, and they got a first. It then said they kneeled the ball, but we have it with 41 seconds left. I have no idea how this game works. I am not complaining though. We actually have a chance, and I'm going for the aggressive catch all day. It was in bounds though, which really hurts. I was trying to stick it more towards the sidelines. That's what I'll do right here, and that is going to be caught. Come on, keep on going, Craig. Because we got out of bounds there, we have a second to chill. I've made sure that everybody is on a streak to the end zone. I can control their hot routes, and that's a great catch. This is actually incredible right now. We have 8 seconds to get in. Come on, come on. Don't be short. No! Coach is also pulling me. What can I do? I think the second I advance this, they're not going to get another snap off, and that's going to be the end. Never mind. We have a chance to send it to overtime at Kyle Field versus Texas A&M. I'm open. I'm open. Catch it. I can't believe what I'm witnessing, and neither can they. We have made it to overtime. I don't like at all that we are getting the first drive, but this is such an insane moment anyway. We actually have a shot. I really don't want to just call for the ball immediately, but whenever I don't, things don't go well. I'm not not sure where this one's at. And here we go. It's 3rd and 3. They're running man-to-man coverage, though I was able to get open. There we go, Craig. I feel like if we somehow pulled this off, this would be my greatest accomplishment in college football 25 so far. At least the hardest one I have done. Here we go. 1st and goal. Man-to-man coverage. Give me the touchdown. And that's it. Now we trust our defense. If they get a stop, it's done. Of course, 1st and goal for Texas A&M right off the rip. They are going to probably just kick the extra point. And then on their next drive, guess who got not only the touchdown, but also the 2-point conversion? I mean, what can we do? This has been the best we've performed all year, but I'm not exactly sure what all's been going on. Now it is 3rd and 1. I'm hoping I can come up clutch, make the play right here. I was kind of calling for it. And I think I'm just going to motion myself over and run a slant on 4th and 1. This is the game right here. Don't knock it out. That was such a bad call for the ball. I should have ran a zig route. I mean, they're going to win anyway, but this is heartbreaking. Why do they have to take it back as well? They're celebrating. They just beat a team that they should have beat by 40. Good job, Texas A&M. You're really going to do a good job going 8-4 this year. I'm proud of you. With 17 receptions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns, you really hate to see it. But at least we're still progressing. We have finals coming up. My academic advisor thinks I need to go to this concert to help out with my grades. And that was pointless. My GPA was already a 4.0. I was hoping it would boost my studying for the exam because I want to spend energy on leveling up so we can increase our speed. I think we're going to have enough to do it. We need to make sure that we're fully healthy. And then we also can put 1 in the leadership. That's going to do the trick. We have 10 skill points to spend. And after doing some research, I'm not going to put it into speed. I'm actually going to go over to route running, make ours go up to an 84 release. And this is interesting. We could get improved cut moves with cutter, which I'm going to consider, but I'm also going to spend another 3 on our hands just to bump up our catching a little bit. That's taken us up to a 69 overall, which actually allows us to compete pretty well with the 2 receivers we've passed up. But if we can make a bowl game this season and finish the year strong, we might have enough skill points to upgrade our speed before we try to transfer. We need as many good stats in games as possible though to make that happen, because I'm like 99% sure that where we can transfer and play is very much dependent upon our overall. There's a lot of pressure on us to end this season strong, though we just did well against Texas A&M. Craig also had his catching upgraded, so I thought that'd be an easy first catch. We'll see how the route running looks though, especially because I've started to use L2 a little bit more, and I could have had a chance to make a catch there, but instead our teammates come away with it off the bounce. I know I haven't done anything yet, but so far it doesn't seem like things are that bad, because if anything, this is the most efficient our offense has looked all season, and I'll take it. I don't appreciate that I don't get to finish it out, but you know who's getting the call on 3rd and goal. I'm out there on the field, I'm spam calling for the ball, and we get it. That took Deuce Hogan way too long to see, but either way, it's a big moment for us. We don't have that many receiving touchdowns this year, and that's a tight throw. Even the refs can't believe it. They're reviewing that if Craig got his foot down or not. I know he did, and that's kind of the sweet spot I have found versus zone defense so far. It feels pretty risky though, because if Deuce Hogan takes a hit before he gets the throw out, it's going to be underthrown. I can't believe we've gotten this. And on 3rd and 7, I'm going to actually use the route running tool to help us get the first. I really hope you all can see the kind of acceleration boost it feels like I'm getting whenever I make those cuts now, because that was not happening earlier in the year. After I was not in for 3rd down, I'm back out on the field. And come on, man-to-man coverage, chance for a touchdown, but I don't get open enough. I felt like it would be smarter to just fall down and not call for it right there. We're going to call for it on this play though, and because I dropped it, I've been pulled. We only got a field goal out of that drive, which is not great considering the position we were in. There's a flag on this play, and even though he held right there, he's also trash talking after he let a fumble happen and had a penalty. Nah, get AJ off the team right now. Going into the half, this should not be a 4-point game. You can just tell that this team is a disaster all around. I have already had enough being an Aggie. It's not been long, but I am getting the player spotlight at halftime. 11 targets, 7 catches. That's kind of embarrassing that I have 11 targets already, but can I see like some highlights or something? It took them a minute, but after staring at that screen forever, we're getting to see some action. And I've always wondered what one of these video games in this century would look like if they had like a full-on halftime show like the old ones. Definitely not a necessity. I'd skip over it like 90% of the time after seeing it a couple of times, but it would be pretty cool. And I might be calling for the ball a little bit too much still. I mean, my stats are far from realistic. That was on me, though. I shouldn't have called for that one. We have blown a 10-point lead. That sums up this season so well, though this next play is going for a huge gain. We've finally gotten down to the side of the field where the sun shines. Man-to-man coverage, maybe. That's fine. Someone else will get open. Not me, though. I would love to get a touchdown catch. It's not happening. But after something didn't go right on 1st down, maybe it could happen right here. I'm spam calling for it, and we get it. That is why I upgraded the catching ability. We went back for the ball. And finishing off that drive is so crucial. We also beat the coverage easily. I'm liking liking what I'm seeing out of Craig. He's hot at the moment. They have pushed us into success. But he's far from perfect. He is a long way to go. He was a 59 overall going into the year, and that pass was apparently not intercepted, but the next time that we're out there, we're still down by 3. I don't love it. That is for sure. There's a lot of pressure for us to come out on top here. We are going to get to midfield. And keep in mind, especially with the way Craig is playing at the moment, making a bowl game is so crucial, but I have to make a tackle. That is why I call for the ball so quickly, because he can't make a read. We also have gotten it on our own 1-yard line. I mean, this is a setup for disaster. Please, just get it out in time. And hang on, Craig Mason, you are the slowest kid around, but this is our biggest play ever. Middle Tennessee State fans can't believe it. I need a little bit of a rest. But just know, as we go into these final 2 minutes, there is one person that we can lean on, and that's going to be Craig. Break a tackle as well. I know we can come up clutch in this situation. We literally have done this week after week. But there's one thing I'm very terrified of, and it's Deuce Hogan's ability to throw the ball to the other team. What was I saying? He literally just did it again. They're going to take it back for a pick 6. I actually hope that they do, so we still have a slight chance in this game. And I am so sick of being an Aggie. I didn't even get to see the field again. We're going to lose this one. And I'm not sure if there's going to be anywhere better for Craig Mason to go, but I can say one thing. It's official, he's transferring. We're continuing to level up, which is a great thing. But I've simply just had enough of this team. I am going to literally blame the entire team. I'm going full crash out mode. I'm saying I'm not sure about all the factors, but it's pretty obvious my teammates aren't playing to the level they need to. This is actually insane. The coaches aren't helping either. I've just dissed everybody. And I don't care that my teammates respect me less and my leadership's decreased. Coach trust also went down. Who cares? I still have almost 17,000 of it, which compared to the next wide receiver is all the way down here at 400. And it was a valid crash out. My leadership didn't go down that much, but I think I'm going to spend some points on training, and I can't do it again. We have just one game left as an Aggie, and then we get to see all the options we're going to have in the transfer portal. But considering I've carried this team to 10th in our conference, we aren't even better than Sam Houston. I'm not sure I'm going to have any options. In order to put the nation on notice in this rivalry, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, anything less than that, I'm going to be disappointed. And it all starts right here with this first play. I'll be calling for it a ton. I have no shame about it either. Whenever Deuce Hogan throws it to other players, it's either a really impressive catch like that play right there, or it's like a guaranteed interception. I was open on the sideline. Sometimes it takes him 50 years to see it, though these cuts are great. And I'm not sure what he's doing back there. On 3rd down, up the seam, I am open. But Craig didn't hold on to the football. It's okay, though. They turned it over, giving us the ball on the 8-yard line. I mean, you know that I'm calling for that. And this is just the start of this rivalry. I might even try to beat them deep on a route. I've never done that before. We did get around the press, though. But our offensive line couldn't hold up for that. And now we're taking a big shot, which is going to be reeled in. I actually like having some receivers around me that can just dust by the corners, since I can't. It really opens up the offense for us, but I feel like whenever we've scored more points, we've still lost. It's really just been a pretty bad season all around. I've mainly focused on Mason's yards, and that's going to continue to be the focus. Right here, I'm going to call for it. We're going to see if I can do anything after the catch, and that didn't really happen there, but this wide receiver screen's always pretty interesting. Going for an incredible 1 yard right there. On 3rd down, getting to the outside, I was there, but that works as well, and we'll see if we can score. Now that it's 3rd and 4, I'm on the field. I missed the last 2 plays. I don't like I couldn't get open right there, and I tried to hurry it up, but it wouldn't let me. Either way, we got the touchdown, so we have a 14-point lead to blow. You know that that's going to happen, and I'm going to take this one in. Even the 6-yard catches have a chance to be a big play if we're able to break the first tackle. But after that play, I got pulled. I didn't get to see the field for our 3rd touchdown of the day, and we don't hold on. I don't know why the rest of the season couldn't have gone this well. I mean, I don't think we've played this good at all. And I'm so confused. It says it is UTEP's ball on the scoreboard right there. That is what that marker indicates, but we still have it on this 3rd and 12. I was so confused if Deuce Hogan threw an interception or not because I couldn't see that side of the field. But I guess he didn't. We really need at least one more touchdown in this game to have the best options possible when it comes to the transfer portal. I don't know why I called for it. That was definitely a greedy move, but I'm just getting desperate. I want to make sure I can transfer somewhere. That 4th and inches ended the drive, and I'm afraid that nobody's going to want Craig, even though he has improved quite a bit. And look at some of these other receivers. Donovan has 159 yards in this game off of 6 catches. That is going to outperform what I'm doing by 100 yards. So other teams aren't even going to see me as the best receiver on this roster whenever I ask to transfer. Deuce Hogan didn't get that pass out in time in order for us to make a play, but he is going to give us a chance to make a play right here. And that could have been so much better than it actually was, but I was able to draw down the zones to get my teammate open. I'm actually proud of that right there. That was a good moment for me. Craig was being a good teammate. State. He was being selfless, but now we do really need a touchdown desperately. The ball is being dropped time and time again, but I really want to make something happen right here. I knew we'd have the leverage, and it's so weird that we're winning this rivalry this bad after the type of season that we had. I'm able to get open with Craig. We need to make somebody miss, though. I'm also being lined up as a tight end. Not sure how this is going to work, but we're going to try to make the most of it. And here we go. 2nd and goal. I'm going to call for it immediately, but I didn't get it. This is so weird because in this game, if anything Deuce Hogan has done, it's proven that he can be decent. Never mind. I mean, that one's not on him. That is on me, and I'm going to help him get their first points. I just wanted more yards right there, but either way, this is a super solid ending to the year. It almost makes me think that New Mexico State wasn't that bad. I mean, we won the Battle of I-10. That's at least something. And Deuce Hogan ended strong as a senior with 5 touchdowns in this one. Since he's gone after next year, that almost opens up the option to stay, though I'm not sure Rob Wester or Brandon Nunes is going to be any better. And the results from my finals were all C's, not good. Check your GPA when you can. This is terrible. The goal was to finish every year the first 3 seasons with a 3.7 GPA or higher. We still have that. That's all we need. I really want to graduate early, but now I'm just going to be dumping points into training and doing that every week I can so we can hopefully get more skill points. To my surprise, in the limited time that we played as well, all freshman Conference USA, Craig Mason with 1,000 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. But that somehow didn't level us up or get us any skill points. I had no idea we were by far the best receiver on this roster. We only played like half the year. Deuce Hogan threw 17 interceptions. And not only did Liberty win the conference, but they also won the conference championship. They even beat Kansas in the first round before losing to Miami, and then Utah won the entire thing. One thing I've noticed though is if you look in the top right corner, we have fallen to wide receiver 3. And I knew it was all based on overall. We have 7 skill points to spend, and I'm just going to probably take a shot at upgrading our route running even more. It stinks, but as a route runner archetype, I know it's going to get us up to a 73. And since that's how we're entering the transfer portal, we might have some options where we're actually going to be the starter. If we come back to New Mexico State, then they're going to make us wide receiver 1. But there's a lot of interesting options on here. Coastal Carolina for their field. I mean, most of these schools are pretty small. Cincinnati, though, we would be the starter even though we're not on the depth chart. And there's a lot more schools that are interested in having Craig than I was ever imagining. We could even go to Vanderbilt. It says we'd be 2nd string. That's still not terrible. But I also think a school like Northwestern could be interesting. They're good academically. They have 2 seniors that would then be gone, so we'd take over once they leave. And at the moment, even Craig has no idea where he wants to land. Ideally, it's going to be an air raid offense where we can move up the depth chart very quickly. We're going to be competing for minutes no matter what. And all I'm going to say is next week at this exact same time, I think the former 1-star recruit's decision is going to shock all of you.